Lavelle starts us off in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, Lavelle. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I had a question for my car that I purchased, and I wanted to didn't know if I should sell it or if I should just keep going with it until it's paid off.
Mm-hmm. When did you purchase it?
So I purchased it probably about 4 to 5 months ago.
Okay. And what do you owe on it?
I owe 18,000.
What's your household income?
45,000.
Are you married?
No, I'm not single.
Okay. Is that your only vehicle?
Yes, sir, it is.
How much other debt do you have other than your house?
I have about 7,000 left in student loan debt, and $1,000 left at the my credit union for our personal loan.
Okay. Well, Christy, here's the principle that we always use on this, okay? A car, Lavelle, is the largest thing we all buy that goes down in value. Another way of saying that, it is the largest wealth destructor in our lives. It destroys more of our wealth than anything else. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Because it's the most expensive thing we buy that goes down in value. I mean, if you buy a $1,000 TV and 4 years later throw it in the backyard, no big deal. It didn't change your life. But when you take a $25,000 car or a $20,000 car and turn it into a $6,000 car, which is what they always do, right? Then you have destroyed a lot of wealth, dollars-wise. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And yet we all love cars. I got cars. I'm a car guy. I want you to have I don't want everybody to drive a junker the rest of their lives. But you need to understand that ratio-wise, the more crap you own that goes down in value, the harder it's going to be to become wealthy. So, based on that idea, the principle that we developed, or the concepts that we developed, are two. Number one, can you be 100% debt-free, not counting your house, inside of 2 years and keep the car? This is assuming you love the car and are willing to fight, scratch, and claw to keep the stupid thing.
Do you? Do you, Lavelle? Do you love it?
I actually don't. I actually have a buyer for it that wants to buy it next week. I've put it on the Auto Trader. And
why did you put it on Auto Trader?
Because I wanted to get out of debt and maybe get a cheaper car. Maybe pay cash for a car and go through my credit union and possibly get the loan to pay off the difference, and maybe get a little extra to $2,000 or $3,000 extra to pay the car off.
Okay, good.
I mean, to get a cash car.
Yeah, get you a cash car. Okay, that's a plan. Go do that. I think you got a great plan. I don't want to stop you from doing your plan. It's a plan that I probably would do if I woke up in your shoes. Let me finish giving you the principles for the rest of our listeners' sake, and because you might apply them at some other point. Okay? Number one, we have to be debt-free inside of 2 years, or the car has to go. You could pull that off. It'd be a lot of hard work, but you could pull that off. You got $26,000 in debt, you make $40,000, you could work an extra job, live on beans and rice and beans, and be debt-free in 2 years. It could be done. Okay? But you're not going to, I understand. But I'm just saying, mathematically, that's doable. The second thing is all the things that you own with wheels and motors, because everything with wheels and motors goes down in value. And again, I've got a lot of stuff with wheels and motors. I'm not against having it. I'm just against it having you. I'm against you being owned by this crap. They all go down in value, and when you add them all up, do they equal more than half your annual income? If they do, you have too much juice tied up in things that are destroying your wealth instead of building your wealth. And so, people call me up, I'm making $75,000 a year, I got a $50,000 truck. Well, you might be a redneck if. That's just stupid.
And
right
that
there.
principle applies whether it's paid for, even if it's paid for. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify that.
Because you
even
got
if you own them.
You see, Lavelle, you got things, a $50,000 truck's going to be worth 25 is about 20 seconds. About 20 seconds. I mean, it doesn't take long at all.
No one thinks about that, about the fact that the car, I like how you just said that, cars are the most expensive things we buy that go down in value. I mean, like when you say it, you're like, yeah, that makes sense, but no one looks at cars that way. They look at it like, hey, I got a raise, let me go get a bigger car. They don't look at it as this thing that is 2 steps forward, 3 steps back when it comes to building wealth. And I think that's important. I like that you pointed that out.
Yeah, when you put $50,000 in the middle of the table and over a series of 4 years, you burn most of it with a match.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. It just for the
unless you make $150,000, then you can survive that, but it's still a problem. I mean, I own cars that are expensive today.
Yeah. But just for the used cars, I mean, just for the new car smell that lasts about a month, go get you some air freshener, right?
Yeah.
Like losing that amount of money for a new car for that very short-term feeling when it drops. I mean, gosh, it drops so quickly in value.
And Tom Stanley discovered this the first time I read it was in 1992. He wrote the book, The Millionaire Next Door. Mm-hmm. And one of the things he discovered in his research of millionaires, which we have done our own research these days, and it was the first time I ever heard it, was the typical millionaire drives a 2-year-old or older car, because I had this thing that rich people all drive nice cars. Mm-hmm. And the truth is that a certain level of rich does.
Right.
But until you've got $1 million in net worth, buying a brand new car is mathematically stupid.
Yeah.
Now, you can do it and get away with it.
Yeah.
But it's just stupid.
Well, even after you have $1 million net worth, you still look at cars differently because the principles that got you to that net worth are the principles you want to maintain. Not to your point, not that you can't get a new car, but you're going, hey, I could get one that's 2 years old. It's depreciated 50% of its value, and I'm going to maintain the value longer.
Yeah, like I said, I got several vehicles with boats and Sea-Doos and side by side on the farm, and I collect. I'm like a grown-up boy, I collect things that go buddin', I mean, and so, but when I'm constantly running that factor and going, all of these things added together need to be a very small percentage of my world, because they're all just sitting here rusting down to nothing money-wise. Meanwhile, I could have taken that same money and put it in something that goes up in value, which would give me more to give and more to do with.
Yeah.